I realized that the best story I can give would be my own for inspiration, because I realized that in order for me to help people that I really care about, I would first have to get myself to a credible place before I could do anything for anybody. So as far as I could remember, I was actually a really good kid, very obedient. And I would go basically wake up for school and then go right back home to my mom making me a big bowl of noodles, and I got to watch cartoons and take naps after a long, hard day of elementary school. That is until she decided to enroll me to Namq Chinese school. I don't know if you guys been there, but Chinese school is not really fun. And that's where I realized that my Chinese actually suck because I was the oldest kid in the whole class. So it was just miserable for me. But I did make one friend. Her name was Winnie. And Winnie changed my life. One day I was complaining to her about how much I hated being there. So she asked me something that altered my life. She said, "Want to ditch class?" And I was like, I looked at her crazy and I was like, what's ditch? Because I was a very good kid, right? And then that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I discovered freedom and lying, but mostly freedom. Let's focus on that. So, like all freedom, it's not free. I paid the price by finding my mom at home waiting for me after school with a feather duster. And my mom's crazy because she'll beat your kids too, right, Hannah? So I didn't regret anything though, because being free and roaming around the city is worth any type of beating. So after a while, she got tired of beating me. And basically that's when I learned that if you really want something, you will be stubborn to get it and endure any pain, of course. So the next part of my life happened summer after high school. And I was involved in a romantic relationship with a struggling musician. And I thought it would be so romantic to run away with him to LA. But at this point, I was young, and he actually even wrote a song for me, and I wanted you guys to hear it. Check it out.
Hey, what's up, man? This right here goes to Josie L.I. J-Mo, hit that shit.
Can you hear me? Listen to me clearly. I need your undivided attention.
Look, I'll listen to you clearly. I know you don't want to hear me, but honestly, there is something I think about.
So by day, we slanged his CDs on Hollywood Boulevard, and by night, we slept on the beach like a bum. Okay, and then the little money that we did make, I ate $1 bologna sandwiches for weeks, okay, at the local Dollar Tree. It was terrible. I never want to see a sandwich in my life, okay. So finally, my best friend, thank goodness, she's also here today. Remember this face. So she came and decided to visit me in LA, only to find me on a twin mattress at a top bunk bed in a dorm room and UCLA frat house with 3 other dudes in the room. That was not exactly what I planned for. So horrified, she took me back to her hotel room, and we had a heart-to-heart going back on all the decisions that, I made that got me there. And needless to say, the next day, I went back to the Bay with Amy, okay? And then from there, I learned freedom can give you the power to go for your dreams. However, if there's no discipline or direction, it's really just ghetto and you're lost and it's not fun. So it's a prison. So at this point in my life, I really wanted to figure out who I was, what I wanted to do with my life, after all that happened. And the next 2 years, I spent job hopping all around the city. I think by the time I was 22, I had about 19 different jobs already. So I tried retail, accounting office, tourist traps, arcade, modeling, selling jewelry, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many more jobs, but basically a lot. And again, my best friend came through and she got me a job at Shiseido, at Macy's. And this was a big corporation that sent me to training to learn about their products so that I can sell it better. And there I saw this glamorous lady walk up on stage wearing a really nice suit and all glammed up. So this lady gets to travel around the world, sell product, and all expenses are paid by the company. So of course I'm like, okay, well, whatever she's doing, I want that job, right? So then I asked my manager and she said, well, you can climb the corporate ladder and it would be helpful if you obtain an esthetician license. So that's exactly what I did. I went to school and got my license. And by day, I took a job at a day spa as a receptionist. So one day when I walked into the day spa, I sat down and I was just really appreciating the environment and how serene it was, how gorgeous everything was. Everything smells nice, everything's clean, and everyone's always happy. And at that moment is when I realized, you know what? I'm gonna own one of these one day. Like, I really like it here. So having a dream and a clear vision is really important because after all, you have to know where you're going before looking for directions, right? And the next thing is not only having a dream, but I had two really important role models in my life. One was for someone to show me what was possible, the big picture, right? And then another was someone I had the pleasure of working with closely to basically mold me into someone that can take on those type of responsibilities of success. Bella Schneider was my role model and also my boss. She was a beauty mogul. She is a beauty mogul. She's on Forbes and all that. But the thing is, working under her, not only did I learn about beauty skills, but I also learned something very important: her habits, her traits, who she is as a person. And then I wanted to be like her so bad that I decided to just branch out and do my own thing. And that's when I founded Dandy Skincare. However, that project was a bust and it failed very fast because apparently you need to know a little bit more than just how to rub cream on someone's face to run a business. So I wasted a lot of money, okay? Then comes a good friend of mine, Hannah Wu, my CEO. So I knew Hannah as someone who wore t-shirts and like basketball shorts with ponytail. So 6 months later, when I met her up and she came over to my apartment to catch up, she rolled up in her new BMW, in her M4, okay, held her Prada bag, wore a Valentino suit. And I don't know if you guys know what Van Cleef is, but it's very expensive. And that's when I was like, what you been up to? What changed, right? And then she was like, well, I started a business and I want you to work with me. And of course, I'm like, sure, except one condition. I want to do everything that you did in the past 6 months so I can just be where you are and earn what you earn, right? So under Hannah's leadership, was very successful. I hit #1 in the company of July 17 or 16. And that year, I hit top 25 in sales and top 100 in recruiting. So needless to say, mentorship is very important, that it can really help you get to where you want to go much faster. And with all my success happening, life was going by great until one day my mom gave me a call, very distressed. She said, Josie, your dad is going to die. He has cancer. So my dad was someone who was the backbone of my family. And he really supported me and my mom our whole life. He worked so hard that he never really got to enjoy his own life. So when the doctors basically said when they found the cancer, it was already too late. He waited too long before anything could be done. And that's the moment I realized that I would have to take over my family's responsibilities as the only child. I would have to help out with everything that my parents go through. So with that being said, in direct sales, it's commission only. So if you don't close an account, you don't eat. And even though my dad is at home tied to an oxygen tank on hospice, I was still out running my meetings. I was out day and night. Do you guys really think that I wanted to do that? No, I didn't. I wanted to be home with my dad so that I could at least have a chance to say goodbye. But the thing was, that's really where I learned sacrifice. I gave up time because that's when I knew or understood that death is the only thing that is so permanent in this world, so still, and I will never get that time back with him. So after a few months, he passed away, and I watched this man go from happy and healthy to nothing but a pile of skin and bones. After he passed, I fell into depression for a few months, spent all my money, lived off my credit cards, and my mom took out a personal loan to pay the bills. And I didn't care. I just laid in bed all day. But my mom started to panic, and she was grieving, and she's crying. And that's when I realized, out of the two of us, I'm the only one that can probably do something because my mom is not a strong person. So I got online and I noticed that a lot of girls were doing lash extensions. And as an esthetician, I was like, I can do that. So I started lashing in my mom's living room. And there you go again, Amy, my first person I lashed. So she's a very resourceful person. You guys should get her number down. She's right there. So, and she's single. But I glued Amy's eyes shut the first time. So obviously I needed practice, right? And so I was working for free a lot in the beginning just to like get my skills up. And I'm broke, I'm working for free, I'm literally starving. A lot of people or my friends and clients come over and they're like, wow, how'd you lose 30 pounds so fast? So I would joke with them, oh, just stop eating, you know? But although it was a joke, unfortunately, it is very true. I actually had to like sell my furniture to make rent. Dow actually helped me sell my couch on Facebook Market. I don't remember, but, and it got to the point where, you know, people were dropping food off at my house. People paid for my tab because I just couldn't afford it. I went to bed hungry a lot. And over time, I did get better, thank goodness. And random people were like showing up. They found me on Instagram and they would show up and then it got busier and busier. And then that's when I realized that, man, I should probably get a professional space now. So I went to my closest friends and asked them to borrow some money. And they lent me so that I could put a down payment for a place in downtown. So my friends started helping me build out my little shop. And I realized that, you know, when you show people that you're really determined and you really want something, they will help you as long as you just let them know and show them your vision. So now my little shop has grown with a little team over there, and everything was just starting to like come together. So now we are still very much on our way to the big dream, the day spa. So my message to you that for overall all these experiences that have happened, I would say freedom without any purpose is totally meaningless. But when you do find your purpose, make sure you find your mentors and someone to help you get there faster. And as long as you have the discipline and the focus, you can get through any obstacle to still achieve your dreams. So thank you guys for letting me share my journey with you. And most importantly, thank you for letting me share, thank my friends so publicly, because they have saved my butt many times and in many different ways. Thank you. I love you.